able to make contact with your own family yet. Have you done so?
They're fine, and just so many people, so many people affected by this storm who can't get to the loved ones. I thought it was going to be fire on the spot. You don't show emotion. Well, just the opposite happened. People were moved.
If anything, she proved that great reporting is the power of connection.
It was my first time really feeling as a journalist, I can make an impact, can make a difference, can really change people's lives.
Now, on a global stage, she would live up to her parents' legacy, even more. Robin was not only succeeding in the world, she was transforming it. Then came news that would change everything, and would test just how much she was willing to give.
My initial reaction was, no way I'm going to share something like this. And it was my mother who said, make your mess your message. Because we wanted you to hear it from us. Didn't want you to hear it anywhere else. I have breast cancer.
I remember asking her thought process, why were you so public about your struggle? And it can't be easy. You're fighting for your life. I think it's just from a deeply held Christian belief that my faith is going to get me through this, and maybe by sharing this, I can help somebody else.
She let us watch as she fought cancer, and we celebrated with her when she went into remission in 2008. But in 2012 came another diagnosis. Her treatment had given her a deadly blood disease, myelodysplastic syndrome. She would need a bone marrow transplant to save her life.
Sometimes treatment for cancer can lead to other serious medical issues, and that's what I'm facing right now.
She just couldn't believe she fell into that little category, and that what she was about to face was going to be by far and away the most painful ordeal.
Telling my mom was really hard. I just felt like, oh, how could I be doing this to her again?
Robin's family had never been more important to her. While her sister Sally Ann was a bone marrow match, the treatment would force Robin to be quarantined for months, at a time when her mother's health was deteriorating. Just days before the transplant was scheduled, Robin got a call to rush home to her mother's bedside.
I was alone with my mom in her room. She turned, looked, and took her last breath. It was like my mother said to herself, my daughter Robin is going to be fine. It's time for me to go.
She hung on to life in time to see her baby daughter. She was at peace knowing that Robin was going to be taken care of.
She gave me one ultimate last gift as mom.
It's my new baseball.
That she knew she couldn't be there for me physically. That's what I was about to face. So she found another way to be there for me. She was.
There was a concern, how would she ever get through that treatment? I was like, oh my God, how is she going to handle this? She's never been through anything major in her life without her mom.
Her mother's lessons echoed louder now than ever before. Rather than retreat, she opened up more, shining a light on seemingly every instant of her own darkest hour. She was inviting us to connect with her, and win or lose, watching her fight was going to make every one of us stronger.
There were so many people who reached out. Oh my gosh, how much more can this woman take? Is she going to get off the mat this time? She's gotten off the mat before.
It's very difficult to express to people how miserable this process is. Many patients don't even want to let their family members into the room for days at a time because they feel so lousy, let alone the whole world.
People have often looked at me and said, oh, she's a strong woman. But this is the first time in my life that when I look in the mirror, I see a strong woman. Hi, it's Robin, and I have been waiting 174 days to say this. Good morning, America.
Born into a family of uncommon strength and faith, she learned from the very beginning to fight for her dreams. That's how the young girl from a small town in Mississippi became a woman the world embraces. That connection between her and us is so strong not just because she became one of our greatest storytellers, but because Robin told us her story. With the grace reminiscent of a man she looked up to all along.
Arthur Ashe was a dear friend, and he said to me, if at the end of the day, if all people will say about you is like, she was a heck of a journalist. You haven't fulfilled all your potential.
It takes courage to trust that the best is yet to come. She has made a difference in this world.
She has had the greatest single impact to the bone marrow registry of anyone or anything that we know of.
Going home now!
She embodies the best of what sport's about, both in her recent struggles and just her whole life. To say to America, I'm going to take you through this, to do that twice. Tell me somebody else who's done that.
She doesn't just do true grit courage, she makes you happy to be alive.
I feel that people will remember the journeys that I've taken them with me on. There's just something about people who face adversity and how they handle it. It's not so much what we accomplish at the end of the day, it's what we've overcome that you remember the most.